21, our most beloved Supreme Master Qinghai caringly made time to speak with the Supreme Master Television 21. Our most beloved Supreme Master Qinghai caringly made time to speak with the Supreme Master Television team members as she shared another interesting story from a treasury of Jewish folklore compiled by Wing Uk. Before the reading, Master elaborated on some questions which the team members had.
Master, there is an ongoing crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. In the first few months of Joe Biden's presidency, the number of illegal immigrants apprehended has surged, with more arrivals than any other period in the past 20 years. Yeah. Some say it is fueled by the perception that his administration has a more open border policy. By contrast, the former U.S. President, His Excellency Donald Trump's policies tightly restricted legal and illegal immigration and directed immigration officials to apprehend anyone in the country unlawfully. Would Master kindly share her thoughts on this issue?
Yes. President Trump wanted to regulate the immigration traffic flow from other countries to be in a more orderly manner, to protect the Americans as well as the immigration people. The U.S. has already actually a kind of open policy, like yearly everyone can apply to live there or work there if they win the green card program. 55,000 nowadays yearly can have that chance. Plus, anyone can apply in many other ways to live and work in the U.S. openly. Open border is very good. But it should be done, in an organized way. Otherwise, it will be chaotic. As I have read in the news, it seems to breed a kind of crisis, at the border between USA and Mexico. Yes. Because you cannot just open the border without, foreplanning. Yes. In Europe, it's different. They have a Schengen zone where people from different countries in Europe can just go in and out of any other countries without any border, without checkpoints, without passport or any ID necessary. But they had planned many equipment and systems to put this into practice. But America and Mexico and others, like South American countries, they did not plan. So in that case, it's not very good to just let people come in like that, because you might have different people with maybe disease or criminal records or other kind of unpleasant things. And also, if you don't plan in advance, then you don't have like a center to screen people and to give them ID to go into the U.S. so that they can find a job or they can find their relatives. As I saw it in the news, it's kind of very chaotic. All the children squeezed together in pens, and it's almost very unkind, because people come to the United States all of a sudden, so the people at the border cannot deal with the influx so fast. And there might be not enough comfortable accommodation and not enough food. The logistic stuff, this is not very good like that. Not good for America, not good for Mexicans and other immigrants. I heard that they came all the way from even Honduras and other countries in Central America. So to open the border is very nice, very kind, and very good for any country. When you need some extra workers or you just want to be hospitable, it's very good. But in this case, when it's so chaotic like that, it's very bad for the immigrants, especially for the small children. I saw them even drop over the fence, the wall of the border, and that's very bad for them. this must be traumatic for them, and it's very difficult for the child to forget this kind of dramatic experience in their very young and tender age. And also important is in the time of pandemic, most borders are closed to protect the people. And at the moment, it's not favorable to open. If the children are squeezed together like that, healthy and unhealthy, you know, that's very bad for all of them. Don't you think so? Yes. And also, I saw it in the news that many people are sick, like they have COVID-19, and they are just let, you know, to go into the United States. And that might infect healthy Americans also. That's very, very inconsiderate. It should not have been done this way. Yeah, it should have been more organized before the immigrants were able to come into America. Otherwise, the open border is very good. Yeah, good for the host country, good for the immigrants. Because the immigrants will need jobs and they will be motivated to work very hard and contribute to the country as well as for the immigrant himself. Yeah. Just that we have to organize, you know, in advance. Have a good place for them to stay meanwhile, and some doctors, some medical personnel to take care of their health when they first come, and organize the logistic situation, you know, with food and clothing and blankets and rooms and hygiene, stuff like that. It wasn't really very organized, and that's very, very bad for the children who are sent there, especially without any parents or adult accompaniment. I don't think it's very kind, even though the intention may be good. Yes. But good intention is not everything. Good intention has to come also with good logistic arrangements. Yes. And all the preparation to welcome the guests. Even in Europe, with this Schengen agreement in the Schengen zone, during the pandemic, borders are closed also. So the border between the US and Mexico opened. I think it's not a very good idea at the moment. Besides, the mentality of European countries is maybe different from the mentality of the Mexicans and the Americans. Different expectations, different way of life. In the European Union, most of the people's standard of living are similar. Of course, there are always the richer and the less rich. But the standard of living is more or less similar between the countries in the Schengen zone. Even then, during the pandemic, they closed the borders as a prevention to protect their citizens. Especially in the pandemic situation like we are in right now, I don't know if the borders should be open like that. And that will be also encouraging the smugglers, you know, human traffickers, or drug traffickers, all kind of unfavorable group of people also will be mixing in, and it's no good for the host country, for America at all.
After Master kindly translated the Jewish traditional tale called The Traveling Businessman and a Trustworthy Ghost, she emphasized an important revelation that was made in the story.
You see, in this story, the ghost even told, and truthfully, that most people who die suffer in hell, because very rare we have some virtuous and morally uncorrupted person. And to eat meat and all that is already a sin, already sinful and already punishable by law, universal law. I really want to plead with all the religious leaders. You must make a good example. You must be a vegan now. Then God will forgive. Otherwise, truly, you will go to hell. I mean it. Like everyone else. If you continue to eat meat, drink wine. And even just admit not drink wine is already sinful enough to be punished in hell for a long time. We can put the hotline or the talk of the sister